to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV this morning. It's time for The Real. And this morning we are looking at everything AI and aero engineering in that space. And for your contribution, Uganda is set to launch an AI-powered climate monitoring camera to the International Space Station. What do you think this means for the country's innovation sector? Share your opinion. The conversation is on our X handle at UBC TV Uganda, but also you can send a text message to 0709, rather a WhatsApp message to 0709 602592, and on X the hashtag is UBCGMU. This is a conversation we're having this morning. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. Thank you so much for watching the show and choosing UBC TV this morning now to have this conversation and for us to understand it better as relatably as possible. We do have Dr. Agaba Doreen, who is the head Aerospace Bureau at ST&I Secretariat. Once again, be part of the conversation, 0709 602 592 by text, WhatsApp, but also on our X handle. The conversation is on there. Share your contribution at UBC TV Uganda. Good morning, Dr. Agaba.
Hello.
It's a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you.
Right. So let's just get a background of what this means and put context to it so that we understand what this project is all about. Thank
you. So the government of Uganda has been working towards establishing capability in aeronautics and space technology. This particular project is about space and building space equipment for environmental monitoring. So as a way to build capability, the government entered into a project as we will see later today when it will be launched. And a number of engineers were selected from government universities to ensure that there is continuity once they return. They were fully funded by government of Uganda to go to the Egyptian Space Agency. 3 teams from Uganda, Kenya, and Egypt built an automated space camera that is able to observe the environment, and it is going to be launched today to the International Space Station.
Wow, so that means this camera will, I see this project working hand in hand with the Meteorological Center.
Yes, please. And so there are different types of data when you're observing the environment. So this is space-derived data. We also have ground sensors, and we have been building an early warning tool, and in this one we have directly partnered with UNIMA to ensure that we are improving our predictability of weather data.
Wow, and when we talk about improving the predictability, do we see this curbing, for example, the problems that we've been having in the eastern part of Uganda that would do the landslides and cases like that have gone on for years and years and years? Do we see this as a solution to problems as such?
Yes, partly. There is prevention, and then there is also management. Management requires extensive amount of data which you can refer to make a choice on what is happening and how you can alleviate it. But there is also prevention. So we have been taking those 2 paths. As a bureau, we are mandated to provide this service in terms of space weather data and how it affects atmospheric weather. But we have also come up with a mechanism to advise necessary ministries to set up sensors in places where we need to receive the information on ground. So if it is a landslide, there are sensors that can be placed on ground, and you can receive an alert immediately. But this other additional information for monitoring gives you a trend analysis. It gives you how this pattern has been behaving and how you can ensure that the next time you expect a peak, then you're now quickly responding to your ground sensors and your systems of response.
Very profound. Be part of the conversation, and what your opinion really that we need is the fact that Uganda is set to launch an AI-powered climate monitoring camera to the International Space Station. In your opinion, in your perspective, in your view, what does this mean for the country's innovation sector? The conversation is on our X handle at UBC TV and the hashtag UBC TV Uganda, that's the X handle, but the hashtag is UBC GNU. You can also share that perspective to 0709 602592 via WhatsApp. Now let's look deeper into the objectives of this project as outlined as possible.
Well, the first one is actually capacity building. We need capability. Locally, we need local experts that, number one, are able to acquire these skills on a specialized level. Number two, are able to transfer them locally. So the main objective of this project was to build capability in developing space equipment. And as I speak, after the 4 engineers funded by Uganda completed their training at the Egyptian Space Agency, they returned and went back to their universities. We were intentional to pick these experts from different universities, as they will be showcased. We have from Bositema University, from Chambogo University, Mbarara University of Science and Technology, and one from Soroti University. And they have already started a domestication project within their universities with the students. So that is the first objective. The second one was to enter into this sector of both satellite equipment manufacturing, but also data generation, using a cost-effective mechanism. You see, this camera can be placed on a satellite, and you would have to procure an entire satellite. But we managed to get into a project where we are developing only the camera and installing it on the International Space Station, which in itself is orbiting. So we are able to get this data for the duration of the camera on the International Space Station and see what we can use with it. We can verify the design that our experts made and produced using a cost-effective method. So it was both capability development and also being able to acquire data in a cost-effective way.
Very profound. And just for purposes of relatability, as these engineers worked on this project, were they on space? Like how we're seeing Artemis and...
No, a lot of space activities happen on ground.
Interesting.
Very little of it happens in space. But what happens on ground is then sent into space to work as space technology. So they were actually in a laboratory which designs, tests, and integrates space components at the Egyptian Space Agency. We have very few of these, less than 5 on the continent, the African continent. And I am glad to say that we are actually, we will be launching our very own space laboratory at Mpoma Earth Station in a few months. I hope to come here and talk about it.
Definitely, so looking forward.
Yes, so they were not in space. They were in Egypt in a laboratory where they started from the design part, which is a software. They went on to the hardware components, and then the camera itself was sent to Airbus for integration and final testing. And it's today is going to be sent on Falcon 9 to the International Space Station. To take a bit of time after that to install and ensure that everything is in order before we receive our first images.
And when do we hope to receive our first images?
I actually would like the engineers to come and demonstrate the first image that we get of East Africa.
That would be so beautiful.
Yes, and display it here and show Ugandans that this is what we did, and this is what it is showing us. This is the first image, and this is what we can learn from it. It would be a good
definitely, so it should happen. It should happen. And speaking of these images, and as they display that, telling us what we can learn from it, how exactly are Ugandans, as ordinary Ugandans, day-to-day Ugandans, expected to respond to this initiative?
That's quite interesting, also a bit difficult, but the first response that we would like from Ugandans is relatability. The experts that we sent for this training are actually their lecturers. Some of them listening to me here, once they display their names, they will say, oh, that is my lecturer, so-and-so. And we did that so that we encourage young Ugandans to know that just like I am a space expert, I did not have to first do an aeronautical engineering degree. So many Ugandans who are doing many types of engineering, including even law, there is space law, space entrepreneurship, they can become experts at a master's level, postgraduate level in space. So that is the first relatability matter that we were very intentional on. Secondly, these are lecturers. They are in the universities. We sent them back to the universities, and this was the agreement we had with them. You're going to go undergo training funded by government of Uganda, build the climate camera for space, and then come back to the universities and bring back this technology to your students.
Right.
So I want to encourage students who have ideas, space ideas, potential space projects. You do not have to be a space expert. Please reach out to these experts, reach out to us. We can mentor you, we can point you where you're supposed to go. Finally, about the data, I want to emphasize that this is an additional set of data. We rely on several types of data for weather prediction and managing agriculture and other climatic phenomenon. We rely on ground sensor data. We also rely on space data. We bring all these together into a tool that is able to analyze and make meaning. So we hope that we will add this to existing models. We push the boundaries of our prediction of weather phenomenon, and we hope that this additional data set will improve our performance in terms of accuracy.
Very profound. I, for one, am excited learning about these things. I don't know about you, but as one who's definitely a Ugandan and has Uganda at heart, Uganda is set to launch an AI-powered climate monitoring camera in the International Space Station. What does this mean for the country's innovation sector? Do share your opinion on 0709 602592 by text WhatsApp, but also on our X handle at UBCTV Uganda. The hashtag there is UBCGMU. Hi, Julie. Thank you for the show. This is teacher Igalagwa Edward from Buyende District. If AI is real and not forged, then this is a great improvement to the Ugandan economy, and I hope it will also be effective to the village areas. I think this says a lot, because for many Ugandans, I think AI has not yet registered. Given the statistics that we have, that only about 14 million Ugandans out of the whole population that we are, 14 million, use the internet. And of those who are using the internet, you would wonder how many actually delve deep into the knowledge of AI, the different AI tools that are available. Is it real? Is it something to embrace or not? As someone who is working in space and this initiative is AI powered, what would you speak into this?
Well, there are different, I could say AI has different faces.
Yes.
In this context, it is that it is an advanced version of machine learning. It is that the camera has capability embedded within its circuit that makes it capable of relating one observation to another and making some deductions, some small conclusions that can help the user. So there may be other versions of AI that other people are referring to and would like to use, but simply put, this is that this particular space camera has machine learning capability embedded within its circuit. And one of our experts is the one who built this circuit. I hope they will show you pictures that our circuits even have the names of the engineers that built this.
That's lovely.
Yes, but concerning the local context, the early warning tool that we are working on, actually in collaboration with Wasitema University, is going to be tested in the environment of different farmers association. They need to give us feedback that says, well, your tool is performing well, as you said, or there are issues here and there. So we hope that the community will be able to get this impact by incorporating this data into the early warning tool. Yes.
Now, on the screen, we're being shown quite some images. There's that. I hope we do go back to the one before that. It would be lovely for us to just get to interact with it and know what exactly it means. What exactly is that?
That is the space camera.
Wow.
That is
I can see the lens.
That's one of our engineers worked on the optical lens. She's an optical engineer. Another engineer from Chambogo University worked on the mechanical body. Then we had one who worked, lady who worked on the embedded system, and then another gentleman who worked on the circuit. And then you put all those together and you get a high performance space-based camera. So such a camera is what would be put on a spacecraft. So if you say we have a weather monitoring spacecraft, such a camera is mounted on that spacecraft. And that is the laboratory in Egypt, where they underwent the training, the designing, and putting together of this equipment. There were 3 teams. The Ugandan team, 4 engineers from Uganda, 4 from Kenya, and 4 from Egypt.
Right. And maybe just to learn a bit of the parts on that camera, I can see this red round apparatus.
Yes.
What does it do? Is it what sticks onto space?
That is actually a laboratory focus testing. That is a laboratory setup, and some of it is testing equipment. So the camera has to be aligned and tested in the laboratory. A space laboratory mimics space environment. So it assumes that the camera is under certain conditions, and then we align all of that. But you can see the circuit in front of the red round object. And this other bigger part is the body, the body of the camera. Right, right. And it feels like it has 2 lenses, from the body and then the circuit itself. It's quite, yes, it has to be a high performing performance optical system. Right. With the different sensors that are able to zoom in at that altitude. Remember the international. And then on to the next image. I hope it displays as soon as possible. It looked like that was space. And this is where, I can see the Ugandan flag, the Kenyan flag, and the Egyptian flag on it. ClimCam, climate camera. And that's it in the image of it being in space. Yeah, someone imagined it. That's like an animated version. Right. Because we have not yet installed it. So I think for visualization effect, it was imagined. So on the International Space Station, there is a robotic arm where different sensors are installed. Right. So you take advantage of a very big satellite. You can say an International Space Station is really like a house in space that is orbiting, and then you come and install your sensor aboard it. Right. Yes. What do you think this means for Uganda's innovation sector, as Uganda is set to launch an AI-powered climate monitoring camera to the International Space Station? Share your opinion. And someone comes through and says, "Good morning, UBC TV. I'm Biomugabe Robert, a journalism and mass communication student at Bishop Stuart University, and I have a passion for advocating for the environment. How can I join the team? I'm watching live from Kasingenge Kakoba in Barara." This is over to you. Given that the journalism student who is passionate about environment and is excited about this project, how can he be part of it? How can he be involved? Well, we really welcome any form of advocacy. We actually would like very many more advocates for space, space outreach and public information to ensure that the public understands this technology. As we continue inviting people to log in live to the launch this afternoon, I believe that we can also share a contact for which people that would like further communication or further guidance in space-related matters. I will leave a WhatsApp number with you. All right. Now, let's look at the budgeting. What went into making sure that this project is brought to life? Yeah. That's usually an interesting one. So as a growing sector, we have intentionally not rushed to heavy-duty investments when we are not ready. And you will hear very many capability development, expert training projects. So this was not a high-cost investment. First of all, we applied to the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, which put in a call for this project. So they provided the launch. We are having a ride share. So Falcon 9 is already going to the International Space Station to provide supplies and other equipment. So we are riding on their launch. So we are not paying for the launch. So we paid for the training of the engineers. We paid for their welfare and everything that goes along with that. And we paid for what was necessary for them to develop the camera payload at the Egyptian Space Agency. So the project was designed in a way that every country is catering for their needs except the launch.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, so the launch is funded. It's an opportunity we got from the United Nations, and I think this is one of the corporate social responsibility for Airbus and SpaceX.
Right. Now let's look at the strategic value for Uganda on this project. What does it look like?
For us, the cascade effect is much more important than what we sowed as a seed.
Right.
So the 4 engineers by themselves is just a seed. What we were looking at was when they return. And as soon as they returned, they knew what they needed to do. So we designed what we are calling a satellite domestication project. And we have onboarded 10 universities on this project. Each university has undergone mission design, satellite mission design, and their ideation, coming up with how do you design a satellite mission, what should you consider, and they are now doing the design phase. So that was our vision. Strategic direction was not just the 4 engineers, otherwise we would have sent more, but it was that when they come back, they are a seed into our universities. We wanted our youth to see their own lecturers, their own sisters, brothers, aunties, teaching them space technology. Because oftentimes we've looked in the sky, seen an aeroplane and gone like, wow, this kind of people the white man built, this, you know, the European has developed. It's not a bad idea, but what it essentially means is that we think we are very distant from this technology. And it is not true, it is not accurate. We have evidence to show that even the first patents were by people that look like us. So the strategic value is actually the cascading effect, the domestication of the technology locally, and how many people can benefit from just a mindset change. Even if they don't get to do space technology, they know that they can approach any idea. And so when we onboarded these students from the universities, first they were skeptical. I am not a space expert. How can I do this? And we showed them. We said, look at the people training you. Ask them. Ask me what my first degree was. But that did not stop me from pursuing a PhD in space technology. So that strategic direction has led us to 10 universities and over 100 students right now working on their satellite missions. And even people who have just said, because I can think of this idea, I am going to go and think of any other innovative idea in any other technology because I've seen that it is possible. So
does this mean that anyone who just has a passion for space can join?
If you have the resilience to pursue knowledge, yes.
Yes,
because there is space in form of engineering, there is space in form of law, there is space in form of advocacy. You have had the advocate. There is space in terms of logistics.
Right, yes.
So when these equipment are produced at the factory and have to be sent to the testing facility and to the launch facility, it is logistics. There is insurance.
Yes.
So there is entrepreneurship. There are people for whom this is their business. They will find a way in which to help you manage your space business. There is training. And so if anyone says, I am interested in space, I would ask them to do some basic information search on the internet, find which aspect they're interested in, and then reach out to us. As long as you're keen to pursue knowledge, you will be able to do something, and we can point you to the correct direction.
Oh, that's very exciting. very exciting.
We actually have young people starting space companies now.
Right.
Yes, and they're quite keen and zealous about this. They put in their time and their mind, and we are supporting them. Indeed, I for one, I'm excited and definitely looking forward to hopping onto this opportunity. Did not know it was as near as it is here in Uganda. Good morning, UBC. Please, who are the engineers who designed this camera? This is Kim, who's asking. Do we get to know the names? Oh, yes, this information it was shared with the production team.
Oh, all right, okay.
Please feel free to
to share the names.
To share the names.
Okay.
Yes.
And good morning, Uganda. I'm Maxon Osuna from Tororo. I appreciate the team for such a wonderful initiative. This is a vote of thanks for to the whole project as it is. Now, of course, our time is fast spent, but I think this is a great opportunity for Uganda, if you ask me. But in your opinion, do share your opinion. Uganda is set to launch an AI-powered climate monitoring camera to the International Space Station. What, in your opinion, does it mean for the country's innovation sector? Do share 0709-602592 by text WhatsApp. But you can also share that opinion onto our X handle at UBCTV Uganda. The question is there. The hashtag is UBCGMU. So what would be your final remarks, your parting shots, something that you'd want us to learn? I understand that there's the launch today.
Yes.
What time is that?
3:51 East African time.
3:51 East
Yes.
African time. So that means you actually have to keep time. Because who sets it at 3:51?
And launches are also interesting. Sometimes they are postponed due to weather. So yeah. So I hope that the link will be shared through your platforms and on live TV.
Right.
So people can follow it up. There are also different tweets that have been shared on this launch. You can actually watch the launch yourself wherever you are. But my final appreciation is to the team, and as ably asked, I will mention their names and their affiliations.
Yes, please.
So we have 4 individuals, 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. I will start with a Hajat engineer, Zaina Kariankolo from Barara University of Science and Technology. She worked on the optic system, the imager. And then we have another lady, Rosemary Naranga from Bositema University. She worked on the embedded system, and this is the machine learning component of the climatic camera. We have a gentleman, Gerard Kisangala from Soroti University. He worked on the circuit, and actually that circuit is going to be patented because it was his design and one of a kind. And finally, we have a gentleman called Christopher Ongom from Chambogo University, and he's a mechanical engineer. And he worked on the mechanical body and making sure that everything is sitting properly in the camera and it will function perfectly. So I would like to applaud this team. They left this country for a number of months, went to Egypt, underwent the training. They applied themselves and successfully implemented the project, and we are celebrating today because of them. Right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agaba Doreen. I've enjoyed this conversation, and I learned many things. The fact that space knowledge can be accessed as near as it is here in Uganda. You don't have to fly out for it. It's here with us, as long as you are curious and indeed one that is zealed up for knowledge. Now, the climate camera payload developed by Uganda, Kenya and Egypt is scheduled to launch today, April 8th, 2026. Indeed, the time, as mentioned by Dr. Agaba, is 3:51 p.m. East African time. It will be launched aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral, right? Florida, to the International Space Station, ISS. The project is Joint Climate Camera, ClimCam, initiative by Kenya Space Agency, Uganda National Space Program, and Egyptian Space Agency. And the location, as mentioned, indeed is Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida, aboard the Cygnus NG-42 mission. The purpose to this is to monitor climate data and provide near real-time weather information for East Africa. So you're able to view it online, and the launch can be watched via SpaceX launch and stream from there. And the camera will be installed on the Airbus Bartolomeo platform attached to the European Columbus module of the ISS, that is the International Space Station. Superly excited for this one. 3:51 p.m. East African time is the time that you don't have to miss out for this. Thank you very much, Dr. Agaba, for the knowledge this morning.
Thank you too.
All right, and thank you too for watching. Up next is JMU Tourism Express. We do have business, the agenda, and sports. Good morning.
Exercise can't be sustained. eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight? Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
So thank you very much, Mike. My name is Bogere Alfred. Together with my colleague Kionga Emmanuel, I welcome you to the Wilderness together with your group. Where we are here, we are at the Midden. The dung you are seeing around is the dung for the rhinos. And the rhinos, they are killing animals. They don't drop the dung anyhow. For them, they select a specific place where they go and drop their dung. So where we are here, it is one of the places they select, not only this one, but other places. And when they are selecting the place, they select along their road. This is their road, and we call it a trail. And the reason as to why they select a place, specific place, because rhinos also, they tend to forget and leave others. When they are grazing others, they can move away and they leave others. So to communicate to others what they do, they go to their midden. This place locally I may call it rhino toilet. When they drop the dung, others, when they are looking for them, they will be able to move and reach where their colleagues dropped the dung. And all rhinos, they have different smell of the dung and the urine. It is not the same. But for them, they can identify which rhino passed here. If it's the group they are looking for, they will move and join them. In case it is another group, they will reach there briefly. And that group they have joined, I said a group of rhino is called a crush. They will not allow them to join. They will push them away. And when they are pushing them away, they normally make a sound. The sound they make, they do so that those ones they can be able to move away. And still from there, they will go and look for another maiden until they will get their friends. And the dung you are seeing here, it is one place where a bull, the alpha bull, can identify which female is ready for mating. Because when the alpha bull reaches at the maiden, it will first smell on all the dung. And if in case the female is ready for mating, after dropping the dung, it will move a step and urinate in that place. So as the bull continues smelling on the dung, it will go and smell on the urine. It will detect 2 to 3 times. When he realizes that the female is ready, what he will do, it will first scratch the old dung using the behind leg. After that, he will drop the fresh one, then he will start kicking it. With intention, he wants the fresh dung to stick under the hooves, so when it is walking on the grass, on the ground, the particles will be remaining there. In case another alpha bull comes across, it will smell on it, detect and know that this is not my area. What it will do, if it's not ready to fight, it will just turn and go away. If it's ready to fight, also do the same, to scratch the dung using the behind leg, drop the fresh, also kick it, with intention also he wants to mark, to show another one that this area is not yours, it's mine. Now when they reach together, they will fight aggressively. The one which is defeated will be pushed away. The one which defeated the other will take over the area. And the other one also will affect another area, because the other one which is chased will go and fight another one so that he can get area to control. And that's how the rhinos behave. Rhinos, they mark the territory in 2 ways. They use the dung, and again they scratch. Using the behind leg, they can scratch. After scratching, they will urinate. Female and the male, both they urinate from behind. But the difference between a female and a male, the male when they urinating, they urinate in a spray way. They will do so that the urine can go wide. They continue to go wide. And that urine can stick on the grass over 3 to 4 days in case there is no rain. Now, the intention of staying that time, to take time another alpha bull in case encroaches will get when the smell is still there. So that's how they control themselves, to control the area. And in case the males detect that the female is ready for mating, after marking the territory, the male will start running very fast to look for the female, because he knows that the moment he delays, another alpha bull will grab and miss. Because the alpha bull, they are so patient, they take long to mate the female, because the gestation period takes 14 to 16 months. So the bull will wait until the female is ready, then he get a chance. That's why they run to go and meet the female before others to grab. So any question there? That's all, my dear, with this place. You are welcome.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
Does banning groupage cargo clearance protect small traders?
Booza Commissioner.
Well, welcome back from moving around Uganda and admiring the Pearl of Africa. Now here we come to the business segment. Beginning with Uganda's health sector is advancing strategic workforce development initiatives, with the Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union announcing plans to formalize and streamline the deployment of nurses to the United Arab Emirates through a partnership with government. The move is aimed to creating structured employment pathways while enhancing international labor mobility for Uganda's nursing profession. The development was disclosed during a press conference focused on strengthening the country's health workforce in a related effort to building capacity. State House unveiled a scholarship program that will award 20 nurses from various regions with opportunities to further studies, signaling increased investment in skills development and long-term sector growth. Let's take a look at this story.
And streamline nurses heading to the Middle East comes at a time when many young professionals have abandoned the profession due to poor working conditions, opting instead for casual labor.
And for people who have traveled, when you reach like Dubai airport, you find people written on their t-shirts, "Can I help you?" Some of those people are graduates from Uganda, others are nurses, others are doctors. So as a result, we want to see that that system stops. And we want our nurses to be exported in their professions. And they should go and work decently. So that's the reason we have also signed the MOU with True Merit and Goodwill to see that instead of our people going as maids and the supermarket attendants, they can go and work in their nursing and midwifery professions.
The president of the union, Justice Cherop Chiplangat, commended the government for extending the State House Scholarship program to nurses and midwives and outlined the criteria that will be used in selecting beneficiaries for the scholarships.
The scholarship is for membership, for members of the union, and because we had forgotten for it, the members should be benefiting. Then two is that we pick by region. We make sure that we balance the regions. Each region brings one. Then again another region like that. Then also we also look at the performance, how good you are, and then we look at also the need for the scholarship, because there are those who can manage to pay their own school fees and get knowledge. Then we are also looking at specialities, because a special course is very expensive, like masters. We offer masters and degrees, those who are going for speciality. So we give them those awards of scholarship.
Chiplangat further reminded President Yoweri Museveni about the previously pledged 1 billion shillings and requested an increase to at least 25 billion shillings to support self-empowerment initiatives through the nurses' SACCO.
Nurses and midwives in this country have never benefited with the SACCO money. So you also went ahead to instruct the Minister of Finance to provide some money for the nurses, and the letters we have them, and the damage check we have with them. So we want to ask ourselves, when are we receiving this SACCO money, so that we also have a fair and good welfare for the nurses and midwives of this country.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Thank you, Sudat Kaye. Now let's also look at the Ugandan High Commissioner to Australia, Dorothy Huha, who has said they're in talks and lobbying the Australian government so that Ugandans in Australia can also invest back home.
The second area where I want to appreciate Ugandans is that what we have organized recently, we went to attend the Melbourne International Coffee Expo. Why? Because Uganda is one of the leading countries for production of coffee and for exportation of coffee. We went to Melbourne to showcase that Uganda has that potential. We want investors, and we did a lot of lobbying. We did a lot of distribution of materials. We did coffee cupping, and I want to thank you Ugandans who were there, who found the time and joined us. Senior players come to the photo. Senior players come to the photo. Because I'm not living in Uganda, I'm living.
And away from that, now let's look at Makerere University School of Business is emphasizing public speaking skills to foster integrity, confidence, and business success. The principal of MUBS, Professor Moses Muhwezi, said this aligns to the competency-based curriculum being implemented by the education sector of late. Let's finalize with that.
A staggering number of businesses in Uganda failed to make their first anniversary due to inadequate planning, insufficient funding, lack of market research, and most importantly, poor communication skills of the proprietor. According to experts, many entrepreneurs struggle to effectively convey their vision, negotiate with clients, and build strong relationships with employees, leading to misunderstandings, lost sales, and high staff turnover.
The discipline of the business people themselves, they are unable to separate business from their home affairs. The man in the business is the one they pick and go for entertainment. There are many factors, but communication is equally important.
It's for this reason that Makerere University Business School, MOBS, is fronting public speaking as a tool to inculcate integrity, build confidence, and businesses that not only survive but thrive.
When we deal with communication, we make our students visible. It makes them visible. They are business school students, and they should be able to stand out in the public and address the masses, but also address the business community. address their clients, the etiquette. How do you talk to clients? Do you shout at them? Do you talk to them nicely? Do you welcome them into your business? So public speaking is very important, and as a business school, we think it's important. It will give our students that leeway to be unique from all other students in the country.
Professor Moses Muhwezi, the principal of Makerere University Business School, challenges business owners to seize opportunities to upskill and prioritize building strong relationships with stakeholders.
How do you give feedback when people ask you questions? How do you answer? When do you answer? How do you ensure communication is effective so that you have that group of customers that will stick to you? So we call upon the business community. Take interest in what the business school does. Please come, get a certificate. Even if it's a certificate in communication, it will make your business grow.
The school has hosted a public speaking competition for students pursuing business administration, a short targeting to equip learners from campus to careers.
Because it is believed that money flows where there is value. What is your value?
Makerere University Business School's Associate Professor Rogers Mwesigwa, who doubles as the Dean, Business Administration, says they intend to widen their web to capture more learners for a greater impact.
Maybe if BCom, if 20 students from Bachelor of Commerce expresses interest, they first compete up to the final point. BBC, they compete up to the final point. BBA, then maybe finally we have compete two per program at the final, so that it is a recognized school-wide activity.
Makerere University Business School exists to be the benchmark for business and management education, research and training. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Well, thank you, Dorcas Kimono. Now, away from the stories, let's take a look at the Forex as of the 7th day of April this year. Now, beginning with the US dollar, opening was at 3,755.95 and selling was 3,765.95. By midday, the dollar was buying at 3,753.00 and selling at 3,763.00. Now, closure of the day, the dollar was buying at 3,756.71 and was selling at 3,766.71. Moving to the Great Britain pound, closing was at 4,976.13 and selling was at 4,990.89. The euro closing was at 4,343.88 and selling was at 4,355.82. Now the Kenyan shilling was at 28.86 and selling was at 28.98. The Tanzanian shilling was at 1.43, buying and selling was at 1.46. Now closing it with the South African currency, which was at 222.50, buying and selling was at 223.18, selling. Now that is as of yesterday, but you can move to any Forex bureau and see which gives you the best of your money, whether you're buying or you're selling. With that, we come to the end of our business segment. Up next is Good Morning Uganda agenda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't go. can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hdo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes, and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in